Every young player dreams of these opportunities. Being in a position to elevate your game from good to an elite level is something that very few players in the league are able to do. And every year we have several players that are poised to have what we call breakout seasons in the NFL, and that's exactly the case this season. Players like Azeez Ojulari, Rashad Bateman, and Treylon Burks are just among some of the few players that I think have the potential to really have breakout seasons this year. But the one player that I think is really going to put the league on notice this year is second-year receiver George Pickens. Now, Pickens is entering his sophomore season with some pretty moderate expectations, to say the least. I don't think a lot of people are really expecting Pickens to have a huge leap in production in his second year. You know how players like Tyreek Hill and DeAndre Hopkins had in their sophomore seasons. But I also don't think many people are expecting him to remain the same production-wise either. Like, I think this season is right in the middle for him. Like, he's not going to come in and break the league and become a top 3 receiver right now. But he's also not going to come in and underperform and shift into more of that role player position like a lot of receivers do in their second season. Second season, I feel like for a receiver is the most career-defining season for them. Either your team sees your potential and then gives you a significant uptick in production, or they just see it as an opportunity to kind of have you settle into that supporting cast type role. And I think for Pickens, the former is definitely going to be his reality this year, especially since the Steelers are still kind of searching for that true wide receiver one. Deontay Johnson has been the Steelers' #1 option since 2021. However, he really hasn't developed to that elite wide receiver status just yet, which opens the door for a player like George Pickens to really come in and prove why exactly he deserves most of the targets for the Steelers this year. Now, in my opinion, Pickens is coming off probably the most impressive average rookie season we've ever seen. Now, you may be asking, what the heck does that even mean? Well, in terms of stats, Pickens had your typical rookie getting adjusted to the pros type of first year, ultimately culminating in 52 receptions, 801 yards, and 4 receptions in his first season. He was a huge contributor in some weeks, mainly earlier in the season, like in week 4 against the Jets when he had 6 receptions for 102 yards. And again the following week against the Bills where he had 6 receptions once again, but this time for 83 yards. And no cap, these early weeks really gave us false hope that Pickens was on track for this potential monster season. But of course, in true Steelers fashion, they blew what could have been one of the most impressive rookie seasons we've seen in recent years, as his targets per game decreased quite a bit over the next several weeks, which led him to have games like he did in week 13 against Atlanta, where he had 2 targets and 1 reception, and that 1 reception netted him just 2 yards. Or in week 8 where he was targeted 3 times, but him and the quarterback Pickett just couldn't quite find that connection, as none of those 3 targets ended in a catch for Pickens. Now, obviously those 2 are very extreme examples of how exactly Pickens' production decreased over that second half. But in general, in terms of targets on a week-to-week basis, the team just really wasn't looking his way as much as they should have. Going from a 5-game stretch where he had upwards of 6 targets in the first half of the season to having only 3 weeks in the entire second half of the season where he was targeted 6 times, it is definitely easy to see why the George Pickens hype kind of stalled out as the year went on. Now, back to what I said about George Pickens having probably the most impressive average rookie season. The reason why the George Pickens hype started in the first place was because of some of the absolutely insane catches that he made as a rookie. Now, obviously he made a name for himself with his production at Georgia, but in the pros, he definitely have to prove that he could do the exact same thing against NFL level coverages. And needless to say, he proved that he probably has the best spectacular catch ability in the league right now, as he made several catches that really just left us with our jaws on the floor. His first one came in week 3 against the Browns, where he made an Odell-esque one-handed grab, with his body fully extended, falling backwards parallel to the ground against some of the toughest coverage you'd ever see. I mean, this catch was really the definition of good defense but better offense. It's like Pickens had a magnet on his gloves that really just tracked the ball throughout the air and was just destined to land in his hands. This insane catch by Pickens was dubbed by many as the catch of the year. And with everyone watching on that fall Sunday night, it sent a message across the league that we might have to look out for George Pickens. He would then have a Julio Jones Super Bowl-esque catch the following week, where he'd catch the ball on the sideline and do the Michael Jackson lean to make sure that he got his feet in bounds. He would then have his first touchdown catch in week 7 against the Dolphins, where he'd make a circus catch, turning his body 180 degrees away from the defender and hauling in the back shoulder pass. In week 17, he had another circus catch on 3rd and 14 against the Ravens, where he will fully extend his body and reach out to grab the ball and still get the first down with the defender draped all over him. And he would have many more insane catches over the course of the season, which really would just have you questioning how in the world can somebody be this athletic? From him snagging passes on the sideline, to him high pointing a ball over 2 defenders, to him twisting his body to make a touchdown catch. He was really able to do it all in his rookie season. And man, there's no telling just how many more crazy catches we would have seen from George Pickens had he been involved in the offense just a little bit more, especially in that second half. And even in training camp, he's been making some crazy catches this year and kind of giving us a little preview with this catch that he made over the Steelers' second-round pick, Joey Porter Jr. But this is the main reason why I think Pickens will have this breakout year in 2023. Why he didn't put up monster numbers in 2022, I personally think that he made the most of the opportunities that he was presented with, and he was able to put his spectacular catchability on full display, showing that he has what it takes to make those tough catches in those clutch situations. Those memes that be like, screw it, Tyreek Hill is down there somewhere, or Justin Jefferson is down there somewhere. I think this season those could turn into, screw it, George Pickens is down there somewhere. Solely because of how he can just prove to be unguardable when the ball is in the air. He's already super fast as well, running at 4.47 in the combine. And in my opinion, if he can make his route running a little bit more precise and become a premier route runner in the league, he could elevate to becoming a superstar receiver really quickly. He has all the tools in his skill set. It's really just about refining those tools and putting it into practice and game scenarios. And obviously it's up to the Steelers to actually utilize him and put him in positions to succeed, which I don't know if they will. I mean, it is the Steelers we're talking about, and offensive coordinator Matt Canada doesn't necessarily have the greatest track record when it comes to running a successful offense. But if arguably the greatest coach of all time, Mike Tomlin, has anything to say about it, George Pickens will definitely be an integral part in the Steelers' offensive schemes a lot more this year. And as far as an actual stat prediction for him this year, I think he'll record 75 touchdowns, 1,150 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Well, guys, that is my outlook for George Pickens' sophomore season. Do you guys think Pickens is in for a breakout year? And if so, what do you think his stats will look like? I definitely cannot wait to see how he performs this year and how the Steelers will actually take advantage of his talents. But guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. As always, if you did enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe. Almost to 500 subscribers. So go ahead and keep hitting that sub button, keep hitting that like button, and just keep engaging on my channel. I love you all so much. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. I'll see you guys next time, and I'm out. Peace. Guys, I know I look a little rough. Beard is growing out of control. Hair is almost to an afro. I'm gonna get a haircut soon. My birthday is actually coming up in like 2 weeks, so I'm kind of waiting a little bit to get my haircut close to my birthday because you want a fresh cut for your birthday? Definitely waiting for that. It's the 30th, so if you go ahead, you can go ahead, wish me a birthday. Go ahead, maybe send me a little moolah, a little bread. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, bless your boy. And needless to say, he proved that he probably has the best spectacular catch. Spectacular, not spectacular. Spectacular. I don't know, like, English is weird, bro. English is so weird.